Peace and blessings. What's going on, everyone? It's me, the coach, Coach Ed, bringing you another episode of the Postgame Playbook, my college football review of some of the games this week. I'm going to go over a few games, a couple of upsets there that happened this past weekend, as well as I'm going to give you my top 10 review in my college rankings from last week. Just a little quick review of how they did, and then also introduce my new top 25 in my college rankings for week 2. All right. So just sit back, relax, and we'll get ready to rock and roll. So
on the field we grind, every play's a statement. Coach Ed on the headset, leading like a champion. Games on blast, yeah, we talking all the scores. From the stands to the couch, it's college football wars. Tactical rise, rivals feel the pressure. Every snap, every pass, it's a teacher lecture. We breaking down the plays with rhythm and force. This podcast is the playbook, it's the main source. On the headset, we're calling the shots. Every team on the rise, giving all that we got. On the field we hustle, every snap like it's told. I like real rolling, the stories unfold. Tailgates are packed, fans decked in their pride. On the headset, got the whole world on our side. From the kickoff to the final drive, Coach Ed's breaking down how we thrive. Every week, every game, we're turning the tide. On the headset, where the passion won't hide. Let's talk stats, let's break it down. Championship dreams, we're wearing that crown. From the big wins to the heartbreaking loss. On the headset, we're here, no matter the cost.
all right, man. Thank you for everyone for tapping in. Really appreciate you guys rocking with me as we continue this journey through college football. Before we dive into it, make sure you guys tap into the Hardcore Sports Network. That's where this show is brought to you, is played and brought to you by the Hardcore Sports Network. Really appreciate Mitch and the network for allowing me to present you this. Make sure you go there, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and also to all the content creators out there. There's so many content creators. The network can give you so much of whatever you're looking for. So make sure you tune in, hit the notification, and share on all your social media platforms. We appreciate it. It's free for you guys, but it helps us out immensely. So thanks a lot. So let's dive into the show and kick off talking about some of the games. Now, the first game I'm going to talk about was two ranked teams matched up. It was Oklahoma taking on Michigan. And ultimately Oklahoma defeated Michigan 24-13 in that game. Oklahoma's quarterback John Mateer, he was very productive as he ran for 2 touchdowns and passed for another. Number 18, Oklahoma defeated number 15 Michigan. So it was a really great game. We actually streamed it on the network, so you can also tap in and go back and listen to the play-by-play between us, with us there on the network. Now, Oklahoma's defense actually held the Wolverines to 288 yards. Mateer himself actually passed for 270 and ran for 74. So as you see, he actually surpassed what Michigan did. Wide receiver Deion Burks caught 7 passes for 101 yards. Jaron Kanak added 5 catches for 69 yards. Running back Justice Hayes ran for 125 yards on 19 carries for the Wolverines. Their freshman quarterback, Bryce Underwood, he actually struggled. It was a rough game for him. He completed 9 of 24 passes for 142 yards, and he really did look out of sorts throughout the course of the game. It was a very unhappy homecoming for Michigan quarterback Sharon Moore, who actually played at Oklahoma back in the early 2000s. Now, there were questions on some of the play calling offensively and defensively, so a lot of that is going to be held to Moore because he is the head coach. The Wolverines also did not seem to trust Underwood. When he did pass, he was also under duress and never seemed comfortable. The Sooners weren't great running the ball for much of the game, but they actually did control the clock late into the fourth quarter. Now, this win for Oklahoma is great as it positions themselves well in terms of moving up within the national rankings as well as in my personal rankings and the recognition that they've been working hard for. So we'll tap in later on to see where they are, where they land in the rankings. Next up is a major upset. The South Florida Bulls beat another ranked opponent, this time the Florida Gators 18-16 in Gainesville, Florida. Last week, they beat the Boise State Broncos, who were 25th at the time. So now Florida, they committed 11 penalties for 103 yards, including two major infractions on that final drive. There was also questionable managing of the game clock as the Bulls ended up stunning the Gators. South Florida kicker Nico Gramatica, he hit a 20-yard field goal as time expired to lift the Bulls to their first victory over Florida in 5 tries. So congratulations to them there. And with the loss, questions have begun to arise in reference to Gators head coach Bill Napier and his job security. A loss like this, it's really not a good look, and fans have continued to question, what the program is doing, the program is doing, and where it's headed. Napier called 2 pass plays in the waning minutes when his offense, they just needed to milk the clock. That's really all they needed to do. He was also in charge of a team that melted down at every turn in crunch time. The Gators, they gave up a 66-yard touchdown pass, mostly because their defenders were staring at the sideline. They weren't ready for the play. Defensive lineman Brendan Bett was also flagged and ejected on the final drive for spitting on an opponent. And we just had another incident at another game this past week, and a young man did not learn from that. Now, that penalty actually came one play after Dejon Johnson was called for a pass interference. So you're talking about 30 yards of penalties all in one drive. Aaron Napier's offense finishing with 355 yards and settling for 3 field goals early. And it's no surprise why the Florida faithful are calling for his job. So South Florida, meanwhile, they took another huge step forward in Coach Alec Galish's 3rd season. And you can expect them to be ranked going forward. So next up, we had Army over Kansas State. They came away with the win 24-21. Quarterback Cale Ealums accounted for 3 touchdowns to help Army beat Kansas State. The Black Knight utilized their ground game, rushing 70 times to help control the clock and be a key factor in leading to the win. Army had 4 scoring drives of at least 13 plays, 3 that took 7 minutes off the clock. So you see the amount of time that they did use to control the game. Another key factor in the game is Army ended up going 6 or 7 on 4th down. I mean, when you capitalize on that during the course of the game, you're setting yourself up for great success. On the night, Ealums completed 7 of 11 passes for 43 yards, so not a big passing night, 1 passing touchdown. But he also ran 41 times for 124 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. So he accounted for 3 total touchdowns. Kansas State quarterback Avery Johnson, he actually went 15 of 25 for 172 yards and 1 touchdown passing to help lead the Kansas State offense. But the Black Knights' time of possession limited what Johnson and the rest of their offense could do. Army held a 40-minute and 44-second lead to 19 minutes and 16 seconds for Kansas State. They also accumulated 332 yards to Kansas State's 247. So ultimately, this is a big win for Army and another tough loss for Kansas State. So we'll see how things transpire and, if Kansas State can ultimately rebound. Now, finally, Iowa State defeated Iowa 16-13. This is a normal rivalry. They actually play for a trophy called the Cy Hawk Trophy. This is something that's been going on for years. Kicker Kyle Conradi kicked a 54-yard field goal with 152 left in is left for the 16th ranked Iowa State Cyclones. And the win over Iowa is the Cyclones' 3rd victory in 4 years over their Big Ten rivals. This year, the game was actually played in Ames, Iowa, home of the Cyclone. Now, quarterback Rocco Beck led the Cyclones on a grinding 55-yard drive that chewed 6.5 minutes off the clock. Tamatoa McDonough sacked Hawkeyes quarterback Mark Gronowski twice on Iowa's last possession, with the Hawkeyes turning the ball over on downs. On the day, Gronowski was 13 of 24 for 83 yards. So he's been struggling since he's transferred in from the FCS level. Jay Sean Patterson led the Hawkeyes on the ground with 60 yards on 11 carries. Beck, he ended the night going 18 of 27 for 134 yards and 1 touchdown. And running back Abu Sama III led the running game with 12 carries for 47 yards. Now, with the win, the Cyclones stayed undefeated at 3-0, while the Hawkeyes took their first loss and fell to 1-1. So there you have it. One last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about real quick, where there were 2 former NFL players who are now head coaches, and they both received their wins as head coaches. Mike Vick, head coach of Norfolk State, defeated Virginia State 34-31 in overtime, and Deshaun Jackson, head coach of Delaware State, his squad took down Albany 37-32. So congrats to them both. So right now we're going to go ahead and tap in to my top 10 review. So with that, you have Ohio State defeating Grambling 70-0. You also have Penn State, which blanked FIU 34-0. LSU had a difficult time with Louisiana Tech. They ended up winning 23-7. Georgia handled their business against Austin Peay. They won 28-6. Miami totally used Bethune-Cookman as a punching bag and came away with the win 45-3. Oregon, they took Oklahoma State out to the woodshed and they handled their business there 69-3. So that's a big loss for Oklahoma State. Texas came away with a very sloppy win over San Jose State 38-7. Clemson, they had a tough challenge with a Troy team, winning that game 27-16. South Carolina defeated South Carolina State 38-10. And the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, they were actually off this week. They were idle. So there you have it. So, and the last thing we're going to take a look at, it's going to be my rankings for week 2. So with that being said, coming in at number 25, you will have the Arizona State Sun Devils. Now, they've fallen down from being ranked higher last week. Florida, the Gators, they fell to number 24 after that big loss earlier to South Florida. Now, South Florida cracks my top 25 now at number 23. Texas Tech moves up to number 22. The Wolverines fell to number 21, but they only fell 3 spots. But still, they fell to 21. The Indiana Hoosiers moved up to 20. The Auburn Tigers moved to 19. The Texas A&M Aggies moved to 18. The Utah Utes are at 17. The Oklahoma Sooners moved up to 16. So there you have it. At 15, you have Tennessee. 14, you have Illinois. They're Fighting Illini. 13, Alabama. 12, Iowa State. 11, Florida State. 10, Notre Dame. 9, South Carolina. 8, Clemson. 7, Texas. 6, Oregon. 5, Miami. 4, Georgia. 3, LSU. 2, Penn State. And coming in at number 1, the Ohio State Buckeyes. So there you have it. That's my top 25. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you get into the chat. Give me your listing. So that's gonna be it today. I thank everyone for tapping in. Be back next week with a new episode. And until then, peace.
On the field we grind. every play's a statement. Coach head on the headset, leading like a champion. Games on blast, yeah, we talking all the scores. From the stands to the couch, it's college football wars. Tactical rise, rivals feel the pressure. Every snap, every pass, it's a teacher lecture. We breaking down the plays with rhythm and force. This podcast is the playbook, it's the main source. On the headset, we're calling the shots. Every team on the rise, giving all that we got. On the field, we hustle, every snap like it's gold. Highlight reels rolling, the stories unfold. Tailgates are packed, fans decked in their pride. On the headset, got the whole world on our side. From the kickoff to the final drop, Coach Ed's breaking down how we thrive. Every week, every game, we're turning the tide. On the headset, where the passion won't hide. Let's talk stats, let's break it down. Championship dreams, we're wearing that crown. From the big wins to the heartbreaking loss. On the headset, we're here, no matter the cost.